remember you used to just barge in the cabin and say who is available, let's go for a meeting. So when I used to come with you, I used to always see how you speak to the customers about the company. And I don't remember, but I have never seen you given any PPT, like slide by slide. So I think because of that, if you'll ask me to talk about company, I can speak for 15-20 minutes also, non-stop. PPTs, I've not seen you doing that. So I have learned that from how to speak with the customers, what to present, how to present them, what we are here for, etc. Hi, good morning, KK.
Yeah, good morning to you. It's late evening for me here, late night actually. You have been with us for, I think,
10
for sure
years.
more than 10 years. I
10
think
years.
you're nearly 11 years now with us.
Yeah, but in December I'll complete 11 years. Yes.
And it absolutely feels like time flies. I remember the time when you were, just a sales rep and you were handling proposals and customers, and I'm sure I must have given you a hard time very often, and we will speak a little bit about that. But let's speak about the good stuff. So tell me a little bit about yourself. You're a Mumbaikar, but give us a little bit about your personal background, growing up, education, what you did for your uh, graduate degree and things like that.
So I am born and brought up here in Mumbai, completely Mumbaikar.
Hmm.
I studied in Kalyan, and post that actually I belong to a middle class family. So there, it is we've been taught since childhood that once you grow up, once you finish your college, you have to start looking out for a job, and you have to work out. And my entire family, my uncles, my father, and everyone was from a bank. They were all working in a public sector bank. So there was a lot of pressure on me initially that I have to appear for the banking exams, and I have to give interviews for that, and etc, etc. But I chose a different path. When I actually graduated, I graduated from economics background. And when I completed my graduation, I told my father that, I'm not going for a bank interview or any banking exam. I want to work in a private company. I was not at all sure what I wanted to do, whether it was a sales or cyber security. I was not at all aware at that time. And I got somehow a job in a very small company. It was a 4-5 people company, a very, very startup company. And I worked there for 5-6 months, and there actually I got introduced to cybersecurity, and I understood what the cybersecurity is, and what are things are there, etc. And then somehow that company got uh, that company got shut down. So then I joined network intelligence 10 years back. And since then, I think from, I mean, career perspective, yes, I have grown a lot. But I think I have seen all my personal milestones also here. So when I started here, I was just a college pass out. I mean, just 6-7 months college pass out. And since then, actually, I got married, I got my own house, I got car, and a lot of personal milestones I have seen here. So it is very I'm very connected here.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about how you got into the company. Did I interview you or who interviewed you?
Yes,
I
yes, yes,
interviewed you.
yes,
Was it
yes,
a
yes,
very
yes.
tough interview or did I just
No,
ask a few
I think
basic
it was a
questions?
very candid discussion we had. So actually, there's also a story. I don't know if I have told you earlier or not. But then there was Rashmi Rastogi, HR, and
Yes.
she told me that there's an interview scheduled with the director of the company. So don't be late, and come on time and be in proper, have a good dressing sense and all. So I said, okay. And from Kalyan I started, and I got a late little. And then I was sitting outside Ecospace 201, where there was a training we had a
Yeah, the
training
training business was
room.
running out of
Ha,
there. Yes.
correct, correct. So there I was waiting, and you had the cabin at the end of the corridor. So I was just waiting outside. I was thinking, somebody maybe 50, 60 year old person would take my interview, because the HR had given me a brief that he's a CEO and he's a director of the company and all. And then I just entered the room, and I was actually very stunned that you were sitting there and very young. I was like, oh my god, he's the director of the company. Like, okay. And then we had a very candid chat. You were just asking me about the personal stuff, like who is there in the family, what I've done, etc. And I think 15-20 minutes we had a discussion, and yeah, that's it.
So I think that either speaks to my poor interviewing skills or it speaks very well to my person evaluation
I
instinct.
would take the second second
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Let's go with the second theory. I think that works better for both of us. Okay. And we are talking about 2014 or 2013
13, end
actually,
of the 13.
2013.
Yeah, end of
Yeah.
13.
So we were a very smallish company then, and we had some key clients in India. So how were your initial few years? What were you tasked with, and how did you specifically how did you learn about the subject as well, right? Because you must have needed to learn that very quickly to be able to speak to customers and speak with the team as well, right? To prepare proposals and quotations. So tell us about something about those first few years, what challenges you had, what help you got from somebody, not from me, but must have been other people in the company that must have helped you.
Yes, yes. I think there were a lot of people at that time. And like you mentioned, we were a very small company. We used to meet a lot of people. So there were a lot of technical people we used to interact with, even the senior most guys in the company. So, that interaction used to help me a lot. So we used to go on calls. I used to understand, what they are talking about. And when I started, I didn't even know how to prepare a proposal and send it out. So all of the colleagues in my team, even the training team I was sitting with in that ecospace office, so they also helped a lot. The technical team that was there, they also helped a lot to understand, how to speak to client, how to understand their requirement, what sort of questions we need to ask. And at that time, I remember you used to just buzz in the cabin, in the room, and say who is available, let's go for a meeting. So when I used to come with you, I used to always see how you speak to the customers, about the company. And I have, honestly, I don't remember, but I have never seen you given any PPT, like, by slide by slide. So I think I am also, because of that, I am also very bad at it. I also can't present a PPT, but if you'll ask me to talk about company, I can speak for 15-20 minutes also non-stop.
Hmm.
But PPTs, I've not seen you doing that. So I have learned that from how to speak with the customers, what to present, how to present them, what we are here for, etc. And over the period of time, I can proudly say that I have achieved that. Initially I needed a lot of support from a technical team, etc. But now I am at a stage where I can manage my pre-sales also. So I not or a very small or very less number of times I need pre-sales teams help when there is a very complex requirement or such. So
Right,
I think that
right.
that helps a lot. That helps a lot. The support from the entire team actually helped me.
Part of the reason I've never presented PPTs is because my PowerPoint skills suck. So I make really bad PowerPoint. So I avoid presenting my decks that I have made as much as possible, unless it's a talk and I have to use some slides over there. Tell me, Sagrika, what was your first big win where you felt, wow, I have actually landed this big account? Because now today you manage some of our biggest customer relationships and you've been managing them for many years. But this was not the case initially. Initially, you were not. I don't think that you were given immediate access to the big banks
No,
and
no, no, no.
the other large accounts. So what was your first big win where you felt, now I think I'm here to stay?
So it was for national NPCI, National Patent Corporation. So we started with a very so in fact our training team had introduced me over there because they had done some training, and then the customer reached out to them saying that they are looking for some sort of services also. So if I'm not wrong, that was very small amount, but that was for VM vulnerability management requirement. So not very big win from PO value perspective,
Sense,
but yeah,
yeah.
from a name perspective, that was a very big win for me, and that happened in the first 6 7 months of my joining. So that
Hmm.
was very motivating, in fact, for me, and to believe myself that I can work into this.
Excellent. What has been one of your large wins? What has been a substantial effort went in? You had to run around for 6 months, meeting multiple stakeholders. I think I know the one, but I want to hear when which one feels like the biggest win for you.
For me, I think it would be undoubtedly Yes Bank, because we had put in a lot of efforts into that. We had done multiple presentation with Aniket and then Sujay, and you were involved, and a lot of senior stakeholders from the bank side also, they were involved there. So, and I think that was the biggest PO value for the longest time we had
For the
received.
whole company,
So there
actually,
is,
yes.
yeah, right. I think till recent win we had. So I think that was very special for me. And the best part is the PO that was dated, that was of my birthday. So that was
No, I
again
didn't know this.
very special. Yeah. So it was 8th of April. The PO was dated 8th of April. So that was very special.
That is so cool. You should put out more proposals around February, March every year, big ones.
Yes.
Come April, hopefully you can land many of those.
Yes. In fact, a lot of deals do come in April because of the renewal cycles and everything. So a lot of deals
That's
do
true.
come in that month.
That is true. Yeah. Customers delay doing it by the end of the quarter in March and it spills over typically to April. That's right.
Yes.
No, Sagarika, I actually don't envy the sales role, right? Because there is so much rejection involved on a day-to-day basis. Like I know first 5 8 years of the company, I was the main salesperson, so I was out there pitching the company. But for you guys, how do you manage that disappointment, right? Sometimes you even call a customer, they don't give you a meeting. They give you work hard on deals like these, right? 6 months, and then we lost a large deal last year, which was not to do anything with us. Sometimes it's just pricing, right? You put all your
Yes.
cards right and everything. How do you handle those situations? Can you tell me anything that happened, and what was your
Yeah.
response?
I mean, it is demotivating, of course, when you work a lot on that deal, and because of maybe pricing or for whatever reasons, it doesn't come to you. It does feel demotivating, but I think what motivates us is to do more. I mean, we have to, of course, achieve our numbers, and we have to run around that. So, the maybe for a day or two, we may feel demotivated, but the next thought comes in, okay, now this is gone. Now, what's the replacement for this? So now this
Hmm.
project is getting over. Now, what should be the replacement? So I think that is one thing, a very important thing that keeps us motivated to do more. So when we also lost certain accounts because of maybe the regulations or the pricing or whatever reasons. So
Yeah.
I think the next thought is then, okay, this account is gone now. Which is the account which can give us now that kind of revenue? Maybe not in immediate basis, but maybe 6 7 8 months down the line. So and I think that is what we have been working out on that since last 6 7 months now, that we have lost certain accounts because of regulations. Then now what which account should be the replacement of those accounts.
The other challenge that I find in with the sales role, Sagrika, is that there is so much new that we keep doing, right? We keep throwing. Yeah, and I am guilty of many of those things. And then there are lots of changes also that happen. And I know that you guys have all these very sweet, nice conversations with me that KK 6 months back, weren't we partnered with Qualys, and now we seem to have partnered with
I
Tenable.
think yes, call was a part of that.
Didn't you say that, we would not be doing multiple EDRs, and now you're saying we've signed up CrowdStrike MSSP partnership? So, but how do you manage these challenges? I mean, I know that like in your 11-year journey, we have added so much on the GRC side. We PCI, QSA, HIPAA, High Trust, etc. And then the SOC became MDR and EDR and XDR, and all these kinds of jargon got added, and then cloud. And now I'm telling you guys, go sell AI. Responsible AI is a practice we are launching, and you soon will have to go and pitch that. Privacy, you guys are already speaking about. So how do you adapt? Do you just like take it, yeah, this is part of the game? Do you spend time reading up on it, learning? How do you handle all these changes that keep happening?
So we do keep on, reading more about it, speaking to. I think rather than reading or watching videos online or something, speaking to the technical team is the best, way of understanding what is going, because they know that we are not from a technical background, so they tell us in a very layman's language that, what it is about, and what the customer will benefit out of it, how we can pitch it to the client, understanding their existing problems. So I think speaking to them gives us better idea on the service.
Hmm.
And to answer your first part of the query, that sometimes, yeah, there's a situation that we might not agree, or we might feel hesitated, that why this is happening. So I think we come and talk to you that we are facing this challenge, and we need a clarification, or we need a more understanding on why we are doing it. So I think rather than just, KK has told us, so we have to do it, so we won't be able to land anywhere with that approach. I think the better way is to understand why we are doing it, and if we still have certain points, to put it forward and have a discussion with you, have a more understanding on what is your approach behind it. So you must have thought something, right? So to understand where you're coming from, and then I think adapting that gives us a better, it eases our life basically.
Hmm. Enrique, I want to ask you a kind of a difficult question. You've been I wouldn't say a woman in a man's world, but as a sales person, have you ever felt a bias because of your gender? Either within the company or in meetings, that people were taking you lightly or speaking over you, or kind of discounting what you were saying. Have there been moments like those?
I'll be very honest, I have never faced that.
Hmm.
Never. Not even in the company, not even outside the company when I'm meeting the customer. In fact, I've got a lot of respect from even the customers, when they speak to me, understanding that I am a woman, or, they speak very politely, or, even there are a lot of times when there are 10, 15 people in the room, and I am just the single woman in that room. So at
Hmm.
that time also, I do get a lot of respect from the people, that if I have any points. And I mean, in the company, of course, I have never faced that, that I'm there was a time when there was, in the team, in the entire global sales team, I was the only one female employee, and rest of everyone were male. So
Hmm.
I think after Rutuja left, I was the only one in the team, and for longest time, nobody else joined. So I never faced that challenge. I've heard a lot of people, speaking that we are women, so we don't get equal treatment in the company with the customers or whatever. But I have honestly never faced that.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. And what keeps you motivated, Sagrika? 11 years, same company, although selling different stuff, but similar environment. The sense I always get when speaking to you is positive energy, optimism. If this, and very candid, you speak your mind. So, what keeps you motivated after a decade plus stint with us as well?
So I get this question a lot from lot many people, that अभी मतलब तू इधर से retirement ही लेने वाली है लगता है. So I say, why not? I mean, see, I have got financial growth, I have got career growth, the environment is good, everything is good. I get to do a lot of new things every time. So why not? I mean, why not stay here? Why to change unnecessary? So I think when you're satisfied, there is no need. I'm okay to be in my comfort zone. A lot of people say that, get out of comfort zone. You should not stay in one company for more than 2 3 years. Then you get in a comfort zone, etc. I'm okay to stay in a comfort zone if I'm getting everything I need. I don't want to go outside of that.
And you're making your numbers, you're meeting your targets.
Yeah, I mean everything falling in place, and why to unnecessarily disturb that and do something different?
I remember one phase, Sagrika, where we had hired somebody as a manager, and it turned out to be a pretty toxic situation for you guys. How did you handle that? Because many people would have just said, if this person stays, then I'd better leave, because that's usually what prompts people to leave, which is a bad manager or a toxic relationship with the manager. So, how did you manage that situation?
It was a very worst time because we have never seen such kind of an environment here. So that was first of all for us. It was like क्या हो रहा है ये तो पहले
Hmm.
कभी नहीं हो रहा था ऐसा
Hmm.
एनवायरमेंट ही नहीं था ऐसे कल्चर ही नहीं था व्हाट इज हैपनिंग टू अस सडनली but I
Hmm.
think we always had an open door policy with you. I think I remember me and Rohit coming and speaking to you about we are facing challenges, we need your support, and since you were there supporting us, giving consoling us that it's okay, it happens, things will change. So I think that way the phase passed, and we had a faith on company, we had a faith on you that you would not allow such things to happen. And I think the same thing happened, so we are very happy about that now. But yeah, it was a difficult phase, definitely.
Difficult. Somebody.
Yes.
So, anyway, things like that. Sometimes mistakes can happen. I'm not saying that that person was wrong, but for our situation, our culture, it was a misfit situation.
Yeah.
Okay, Sagrika, what's the kind of advice that you would give to somebody wanting to get a break in sales, in a sales role in cybersecurity?
We should be open to everything, and first of all we should start speaking customer mind, what customer is going through, what customer is what's the pain of a customer. And then I think it's the time when customers start speaking to you. So when you understand what he's going through, it would be more easier for you to have conversations with him. So I think being open to new things, because cybersecurity is something which is every day, it is something new coming, something new happening, some new technology is getting invented and all. So I think being open to that, reading a lot of stuff on that would be really good. And of course understanding what customer is going through, that is something important for any salesperson to have a conversation with customer, because we are a salesperson. So usually customer feels that we are not from a technical background, so he doesn't get very open up with us. So
Yeah.
but when he understands that we are understanding his problems or his situation, so I think that gives him more comfort to speak to us.
What's in the future for you, Sagrika? What are you looking
uh,
forward to?
Honestly I have not. I mean maybe heading country, or I don't know what, but yeah, I mean
Do you
something
want to
of
check
that
with
sort.
your current boss slash manager
I
about
think
taking
once
up
he
his
moves
role?
above, I think once he moves to maybe
Yes.
SARC or some role, then I can, take up his role. And we'll be definitely together always. So,
Yes. How are you finding this new role where you're a team lead? You have sales reps under you. I mean, it's you've been in this for some time now, managing the team plus running after your own target. So, how do you feel about this versus just being individual contributor?
it is difficult
Hmm.
to manage the team. I mean, a lot of operational challenges, understanding what their cases are, or understanding where they are stuck. In individual role, it's very simple. I have to drive my own business. I have to go meet customers. I have to see what I'm doing. Just that's it. but in team manager roles it is both. So sometimes it becomes challenge, to
Mm.
give them time, to sit with them, to understand what they are doing, giving them the direction is the difficult part, because before that I have to understand what that person is capable of, or what he
Mm.
or she can do, and what level of tasks I can assign to them. So I think that is something a little challenging, but I think I'm coping up with that, and I hope they speak good about me.
I have just asked our HR head that why don't we have 360-degree reviews, because I would like to hear feedback from my
Yes,
reportees as well, right? And I think that's valuable feedback
yes,
for all of us. We, at the
yes,
end of the
yes,
day, as leaders or managers, we our role is to help others succeed. So if we are falling short there, then we should hear where and why we
yes.
are falling short.
But I
Um,
think that we were doing that earlier, no? I
yeah,
think
it's a process gap
somehow.
that has happened. Actually,
Yes, yes,
in this work from home situation, quite some processes have broken down. So I'm working with finance and HR and project management to bring those processes back. That's some of the heavy lifting that is happening at the back end of the organization. Even on the sales side, we have had some sales processes break down, so we are
yes,
bringing those back. Though I think we made great progress in terms of adopting tools, especially AI tools for sales, which you guys are all
yes,
using.
yes.
So
AI, HubSpot.
exciting, yeah, exciting times ahead.
Yes,
Any
yes.
final thoughts, Sagrika? Anything you want to share?
No, I think I'm very grateful to being part of this company, because I think I spend more than 60-70% of my day in this company or for this company. So I think after a period of time it really becomes personal. I mean, it is more than what my personal life is.
Hmm.
So I think I'm very grateful for such environment that we have in the company, or the kind of people we have, the engagements, the employee engagements that we do. So yeah, I mean, that's it.
Great. Lovely speaking to you, Sagrika. Thank you so
Same,
much
same
for your
here,
time
same
today.
here.